Do you see this book? Well, if you wanted to open your eyes in ways on how to be financially free, I hope you already read this book. If not, ride along and watch. Let me introduce you to Mr. Robert Kiyosaki. Now, based on his book and Mr. Google, he was born in Hawaii, USA. Started as a young, curious kid. He was born with a well-educated family. And just like you and me, he started with nothing. Nothing but curiosity and willingness to learn. Now, based on his book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, he consulted his rich dad. And he realized something. He finally learned. And then, as I read along, it hits me. Bam! Then I become curious. I search for the truth. And I ask, can it be done? Can we really be financially free at the end of the race? Well, what do you think is the answer? Where do you think Robert Kiyosaki is now? So, in search for the truth, I stumbled upon his second book, which is the Cashflow Quadrant. For the sake of knowing, this is what the quadrant looks like. It gives you a guide from where you are and where you want it to be. So, in a simple scenario, you can see that there are 4 letters on the quadrant. Each quadrant represents where your money is coming from. So, if your money is coming or your income is coming from letter or from your job, then you are at the quadrant letter E. If you have a small business and if you're running it with maybe your family or part of family member or by yourself, then you can be on or at the quadrant letter S. Also, if you're a business person, what I mean by this is that you have employees already, right? And you're just not running it alone. So you will be on or at the quadrant letter B. And if you have a lot of businesses and you have a lot of cash flow already, then you can be at the letter I. So for the sake of learning, that is what the quadrants look like. Again, if you're looking for ways to be financially free at the end of the race, I really recommend to read this book. But I have a few questions before we end this. How do you think he did it? Like, if there's really a way where we can be financially free before we die and don't die broke, would you listen to it? And what if there is? Would you be interested? Well, that's another story on my next video, so I'll see you there.